A warm welcome and thank you for joining us for the midweek edition of Primetime News. I'm Shalva Wells. Leading our bulletin, President Dr. Hage Geingob on Tuesday conveyed a message of condolences to the family of the late Professor Mburumba Karina, who died in Windhoek on Monday. He was 89. Here's the story by Elvi Ayambo.
In his message of condolences, Geingob wished the family strength. He said, among other accolades, Karina was a founding member of Namibia's Constituent Assembly and described him as an influential political activist. The president said on behalf of the people and the government of the Republic of Namibia, and indeed on his own behalf and that of his family, he extended condolences to the children and the entire family, saying in their period of sadness, may they find the strength to uphold the memory of this son of the Namibians well. He stated that as one of the early petitioners for Namibia's independence to the United Nations, Karina advanced the cause of independence which he was unable to witness in his lifetime.
Swapo politician and former parliamentarian Kadenambo says German-speaking Namibians who are scared to lose large tracts of agricultural land must rally behind descendants of the genocide communities. Our journalists Edward Mumbu Jr. and Maria Kanjungu filed this report.
Kavenambo made those remarks during an interview on Tuesday in response to fears by German-speaking Namibians who believe targeting their farms is misplaced. Through the Forum of German-speaking Namibians on Tuesday, they branded the reactions by affected communities unacceptable and not helpful, while acknowledging the dissatisfaction expressed by affected communities over the manner in which the genocide deal is being handled. But the politician said the repossession of ancestral land occupied by descendants of the German colonialists is imminent unless the German and Namibian governments start treating the genocide issue with the sensitivity it warrants.
When the late Popular Democratic Movement PDM or Poor Rural Constituency Councillor Warikua Kakuva died in April, the man who replaced him on the PDM ticket was a card-carrying member of the ruling Swapo party. It has surfaced.
According to available information, Weston Muharukwa, who is contesting as PDM's candidate for the upcoming by-election scheduled for 2 July 2021, is yet to officially tender his resignation from the ruling party. Kunene Swapo coordinator Tuarungua Kavari confirmed that he was a member of the party. In a press statement issued last week, Swapo reiterated Muharukwa has been our member in good standing since he is in possession of a Swapo membership card and paid membership fees from 2013 till 2022. Approached for comment, Muharukwa denied any ties linking him to Swapo. On Monday, PDM Secretary General Manuel Karingombe said what appears to be an entanglement between Swapo and PDM is water under the bridge.
Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Training and Innovation, Venyamunya Kawaria, said the agricultural sector in Namibia is often marked by high levels of insecurity, making it an undesirable profession, especially for the youth. Our Kavango East and West journalist Sawi Hausiku filed this report.
Kawaria made the statement during the official inauguration of the Rundu Vocational Training Center's Agricultural Technical and Vocational Education and Training Campus here on Tuesday. Agriculture is disappointingly a fallback option rather than a prime vocation to which young people gravitate out of personal interest or passion, she said. The Deputy Minister said it is time to change this perception and time to spread the word that vocational education and training is possibly the most reliable pathway to an interesting and rewarding career. Agriculture, she said, needs to be recast as a profession within which there is a scope of innovation and for the application of new technology. She said there is evidence that if agriculture can be represented as a site of innovation, it may become far more attractive to the youth, including youth with high levels of formal education.
Stand by for your top roundup. Welcome back. Moving on to all things business and economics. Building material prices are expected to remain steady throughout the remainder of 2021 due to weak demand amidst slow recovery, the first Capital House Building Cost Index report for March 2021 indicates.
The report released last week said with the exception of sand prices remained flat for most building materials. It said given the dismal economic outlook, demand for cement is expected to remain weak at a time when production capacity remains elevated, implying that prices will remain subdued in the medium term. The report stated, land prices remain persistently high, which continues to be a limiting factor in acquiring residential properties, especially in the central and coastal parts of the country. Monetary policy remains highly accommodative and is expected to extend current low levels of interest rates for the remainder of the year. It further said mortgage credit to businesses has significantly declined over the past 12 months. However, credit extended to individuals has remained resilient over the same period, suggesting that households view this period as the best opportunity to get mortgage credit and buy houses.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Natural Resources on Tuesday held a hearing with a group of organizations opposing the drilling of oil in the Kavango region by Recon Africa.
Recon Africa, a Canadian oil and gas company, engaged in the opening of the newly discovered Deep Kavango Sedimentary Basin, announced that it found oil and gas indicators in Namibia, which is evidence of a working petroleum system in the Kavango Basin. According to a press statement issued by the National Assembly on Tuesday, the committee sat with representatives of the Saving Okavango's Unique Life Soul Organization, the Kavango East and West Regional Conservancy Forest Association, and the Women's Leadership Center, a women's human rights organization that works with marginalized groups, including San Indigenous women in Kavango East. Speaking on behalf of SOL, Matt Totten, a geologist by profession and oil exploration expert, stressed the need to put into consideration and assess how climate change is impacting Namibia's groundwater resources and assess how the damage caused by potential extractions could devastate the Kavango Delta, an area that is sacred.
Moving on to tourism-related news. Deputy Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Heather Sibungo, said the Brand Africa initiative by the United Nations World Tourism Organization is the weapon to rebuild Africa as a tourist destination of choice.
Speaking at the opening ceremony of the UNWTO Regional Tourism Conference on Tuesday, Sibungo said the conference will play an important role to position the continent based on its rich cultures, warm hospitality, spectacular scenery and wildlife, as well as many other attractions. Speaking at the same event, UNWTO Secretary General Zura Pololikashvili said Namibia has the potential to be a top tourism destination in Africa. However, Africa's tourism potential is yet to be fully realized. The conference, held under the theme Strengthening Brand Africa for the Swift Recovery of the Tourism Sector, is aimed at enhancing the image of Africa as a tourism destination and improve the marketing skills of micro and small and medium tourism enterprises in African countries, with a particular focus on Namibia as a pilot study.
It's time for the Business and Economics Roundup. That's all the top news we had for you this evening. Kindly stand by for tonight's sports update with Michael Madimba.
Many thanks, Shelva. In our sports installment tonight, we commence locally. Secretary General of the Namibian National Olympic Committee, Joanne Smith, said Namibians should always be hopeful of their athletes winning silverware at major competitions. Our sports journalist Hesron Kapanga filed this report.
In an interview with the Namibia Press Agency on Tuesday, Smith said, despite financial constraints and athletes not being given adequate time to prepare, she is hopeful that the current crop of Namibian athletes has the potential to do well. The Secretary General said that they have not yet received funds from the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service thus far, despite having meetings with the Minister and Executive Director. Smith said for them it's all about the athletes, so they are running on Olympic solidarity funding from other programs to make it a reality for the athletes who will represent the country. The first group of Namibian athletes will depart for Japan on 16 July 2021, as athletes are expected to arrive in Japan 5 days before their competition at the 2021 Olympic Games that starts on 23 July and ends on 8 August.
Moving on to international football. France midfielder Paul Pogba does not want Antonio Rudiger to be punished for playfully biting him through his jersey during the World Champions 1-0 win over Germany in their Euro opener on Tuesday. More on the story by DPA.
Pogba told reporters he is his friend and he is not someone who goes shouting for a card. The footballer added that he thinks he was bit a little, it was a friendly thing and they know each other very well. The incident between the Chelsea defender and Manchester United player happened towards the end of the first half. The pair hugged at the end of the game.
Your sports roundup is up next. We've come to the end of tonight's bulletin. We thank you for tuning in. As always, give us a thumbs up and share. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, click on the notifications bell to stay abreast with the latest happenings locally and globally. In our fight against the invisible enemy that is COVID-19, let us continue adhering to the stipulated health protocols. Catch us on the morrow for Thursday's edition of Primetime News. From myself and the entire production team, it's good night.